Hi, this is Gary Thompson, the clerk of the course for the Manx Grand Prix and Classic TT. I just wanted to finish off the event really by thanking everybody for your support, your patience and your resilience over the last 2 weeks, whether that be teams, competitors, officials, marshals and indeed spectators. You know, we've had a great 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the last 3 days the event suffered because of the backlash, if you like, or the hangover from Storm Erin. So we had a great first week, a fantastic race weekend last weekend over the bank holiday. But unfortunately, the last 3 days we've seen the inclement weather, the backlash from the storm. So you know there are contingency sessions that we could have used, but again we are reliant on a huge volunteer sector, whether that's marshals, officials, personnel in race control. You know, the whole event is reliant on these officials, marshals, and everybody giving up their time freely, basically. So we've not been able to cover the contingency sessions, but mainly, you know, obviously we've suffered with the event over the Wednesday and today with the weather. Particularly today, the plan today was to give everybody, every class a race. You know, obviously people have put a lot of time and effort to get here, put a lot of preparation into the bikes. So we wanted to give every opportunity for every class to have a race. And I know some people don't like the one-lap races, personally, nor do I. But you know, it is what it is. You know, we have only got a finite amount of time to get these races in. You know, I'm personally, or the race organisation is bound by the race authorisation. You know, obviously, I once I've closed the roads, I've got to have the roads open by a certain time. So, you know, obviously, we've all got to be very mindful of that. So, you know, today we had the historic senior went out first 2 laps. Then we had the historic junior, and the back end of the historic junior race, there was the last few competitors was literally being chased across the mountain by a rain cloud, and the last few would have got a bit damp, to be honest. So we put in a delay before the senior classic. Obviously much more powerful bikes on slick tyres. And once the travelling marshals, all experienced ex-racers, did their inspection lap, it became clear that there were certain parts of the course which just was not suitable for classic senior bikes to be run on slick tyres. So, bearing in mind safety always comes first. You know, I made the decision to cancel the rest of the senior classic and obviously the rest of the event. Because of that, you know, obviously safety is paramount, and we want everybody to go home safely. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for your patience and resilience. You would have seen already the dates have been issued for next year. So next year, it's the last 2 weeks before the bank holiday. We go next year for the Manx Grand Prix and the Classic T2. So it's the 2 weeks leading up to the bank holiday weekend, which is a change from this year, and obviously that's because of the dates the bank holiday falls next year. And hopefully that will help the volunteer sector to be able to, you know, support the event right to the end, so they can travel home over the bank holiday weekend. But yeah, disappointed into the event, but I hope everybody who's come has enjoyed it. We now start work, or we've already started work on TT 2026, and all I can say now is, you know, enjoy the rest of the season. Plenty more racing, and I look forward to seeing you all at TT 2026 next year, and obviously also the Manx Grand Prix and the Classic TT. And finally, thank you for all your support. Control out. Thank you.